Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another video recap. Today we're going to be talking about Catfish, the TV show. Last night's episode of Keontae and Tyler. So we're just going to get right into it. So last night on Catfish, Keontae and Tyler. Keontae has been talking to this guy for a few years. He's a model. He's bisexual. He's afraid to come out. They had a good connection on the phone and stuff. But Tyler refused the video chat. So he calls in Neve and Cammy. They come in, meet up with them. He tells them his story and everything about how deep their connection is, and how he's just afraid to video chat. He's even afraid to come out, and but that he's a model. So the first red flag I thought was that, okay, if he's a model and afraid to come out, like, wouldn't he already be out? Like, it didn't make no sense, like, right from the get-go. So I thought it was a little odd. So even Camby actually asked him if he's a model, did you look him up? And he said, yeah, but I couldn't find nothing. But he didn't run the pictures, and we'll get into that in a minute. So, Neve and Cammy decided, okay, we'll do our investigation. They go do their investigation. The first thing they did was run the pictures. And when I first saw them, I'm like, well, I bet you they're going to get a hit right from the very first picture. And Lord behold, they did. They ran the very first picture, and it came back to a model. So they reached out to the actual guy in the pictures. He did not respond. Then they found some people that were associated with them. They called this girl who said that Tyler and what was the other name? I forget the other name that he had mentioned that he also went by, but the girl said, yeah, he's my homie. We've been friends for a while and stuff. And then they asked him, well, can you get in contact with Tyler to tell him that we are looking for him? And like they asked if he was in a relationship. She said no. They asked if he was out, and she said as far as she knows, yes. And that he's a model, but she didn't want to give out like a model's personal information. And I'm like, okay, it's understandable, because yeah, with models you have to be a little bit private with that, but private in a sense of not giving out personal information, but in terms of your pictures and just coming out, it's just pretty obvious when you're a model. So Neve and Kim go back to Keontae's house. On the way back, they get a call from this guy and that's associated with the Tyler profile, or maybe Tyler or something, and they ask him questions like, do you know this guy? And he was just like, no. The storyline seemed kind of similar, because the guy, okay, they said the guy was in Ohio. Tyler was in Ohio, but he's really in New York. And the guy that they got in contact with, claiming to be Tyler, he's like really in New York and stuff. And they had like similar stories and stuff, basically. So they come back to the house, and Neve and Cammy give Keontae the recap. Well, after they did the recap, Neve replayed the phone call that he had with like Tyler or whoever that girl contacted them to. So Keontae listened to the phone call. He was like, wait a minute, I think I know that voice. And he was like, and they were like, who? And he was like, I think that's my friend Golden. And Golden's just a good friend. We've been through a lot. We haven't like done nothing. He's just a really good friend. And even came here like, okay, well, why would he catfish you? Like, I don't know. So, they get in contact with Tyler or Golden to see who's going to come first. And, they reached out to the Tyler profile, and Tyler had said, okay, I'm ready to come see you. I'm coming to LA. Okay, so he comes to LA. He comes really quick. They get to the house, and Lord behold, it's actually Golden. Our predictions were true. Now, prior to them reaching out to Tyler, they also reached out to Golden directly, and he sent a voice message, and the voice message sounded completely different than a phone call. Now, Keontae had mentioned that, I would have not noticed it was him because he like put on the front when we were talking on the phone. But I do recognize that voice when they replayed the phone call. So basically, this is gonna be weird. So Golden shows up. The person in the picture and who was catfishing was Golden. He shows up. He comes out all big and tough, like had no remorse. He was saying it was a joke and everything. But we were just trying to figure out, like, if it was a joke, like we were saying how much we love each other, how much we were gonna do certain things, and that you're just gonna say it's a joke and stuff. He was like, it's not directed towards you, and then he had mentioned the ex. But then it just turned into a back and forth argument. Like, how can you say it was not about me when you were telling me these certain things? And he just would not like admit to it. So they go into the backyard after cooling down. They finally talk and just say, "Hey, you know what? Like, you know what? Okay, like I did feel." Golden was like, "Yeah, I did feel something for you. Like I do care about you as a person. I love you and all that, and everything." And Keontae was just like, "You know what? We could get past this. I wish you would have just came to me. You didn't have to really do all this." He even mentioned like you didn't have to catfish. You didn't even have to catfish because you're not an ugly person. And so I think he felt bad for what he did, but I just think in this episode, it wasn't like too crazy, but it was just like I feel like Golden didn't really need to do all of that. Basically, he should have just been honest from the get-go. I don't know what he was trying to prove or accomplish in this. Maybe come up with a good storyline for Catfish. Who knows? I don't know. But I think that he didn't need to do all that. This was just a complete wasted energy for them. So they did their 2-month follow-up. They they're not dating, but they remain good friends, and they just focus on themselves and doing well. So I'm glad a friendship salvaged throughout this episode. But once again, these last couple of weeks, they just haven't been like the crazy outcomes and stuff, which is fine. But I do like to see love on TV. I don't want to see people fighting and stuff. So, but I'm glad they decided to remain friends. So yeah, that was the Keontae and Tyler episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back on Saturday when I recap 90 Day Love in Paradise Caribbean. So be sure to tune into that. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.